Hey guys and dolls, so recently I've been mostly rocking this whole no makeup, au naturel look. Most days just wearing some mineral makeup, switching it up between the Bare Minerals Serum Foundation and the Bella Pierre Cosmetics Mineral Makeup, which is the most natural mineral makeup on the market. But with party season coming up, I had to have a dig through my makeup collection because I really love getting dolled up and I find it really fun and I like doing art on my face. In this video I'm going to show you my favorite products to use for my go-to party look that go from budget to high-end, so you know you can adapt this to your own situation and you're not going to be left out no matter what. Okay, so we always have to start with prepped skin, and I have got a video about my winter skin routine to keep my skin nice and glowy and moisturised, which I'll link down below. For this I'm going to go in with my trusty Body Shop Vitamin E Moisturiser, and I'm also mixing in a little of the LUSH Feeling Younger, and that looks like this. It's quite pearlescent and it's sort of like the L'Oreal Lumi Magique. This is a lot more of a natural one and it gives the skin a lovely sheen, and I just think that's really beautiful, especially for party makeup. I want to have that nice glow about me in a dark room, so I'm mixing a little bit of the two of these onto the back of my hand, using that as a palette. Just going to mix them there and then all over. So it's so important to prep your skin, guys, if you want your makeup to look nice. And no matter how problematic your skin is, there is hope. I had chronic acne last year and it's doing good now. It is time to lay out the tools. If you're quite new to makeup, I definitely advise you to invest in a bunch of brushes. You can get the Real Techniques ones, which are really cheap, and there's the Blank Canvas Cosmetic brushes, which are Irish. I love this as well. This is the Real Techniques sponge, and I'm going to be using this today damp, and then the other brushes just to do some of the other work. Next, if you want your makeup to last a long time, go in with a primer. I love the Porefessional by Benefit. A cheaper alternative is the Insta Blur from the Body Shop. These are some of my go-to foundations and can all be bought in a really pale shade. They're very long lasting, and best of all, they cover up any redness, any issues at all, and they also don't look cakey and they look quite natural, especially when applied with a sponge. So select a foundation. Today I'm going to go with the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade Shell, simply because this is new to me. I finally found it in the shade that actually goes with my skin tone, because beforehand I was using the shade up from this and I found it way too dark and pinky. But yeah, I'm just going to basically take that on this end of my sponge and pat that into my skin all over. I only usually need one kind of thin layer of this foundation because it's absolutely magical. Get well in around the nose as well, guys, because when you don't properly blend foundation into your nose, it tends to look a bit mental. But yeah, as I've said before about the Estee Lauder Double Wear, it's one of my all-time favourite makeups. My mom actually used to wear it a lot. I've always really admired my mom's skin and especially loved watching her putting on her makeup. Don't be afraid to get a little bit of foundation onto the lips as well, because it provides a little bit of a base for your lip products, I find, and it makes them stay longer, mutes out your natural lip shade, and it makes it easier to go in with your red lip products. I usually tend to take whatever is left on the back of my hand and drag that down my neck, a little bit on my chesticles. So when you're all foundationed out like I currently am, you can go in with a powder to set that. I really love these two, the Rimmel Stay Matte and also the Bare Minerals one is so long lasting. For this tutorial I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte and just take that on a big fluffy brush all along my T-zone. So I'm not going to put it onto the cheeks because I think it's nice to have a little bit of a natural kind of luminosity. Then to highlight, take a concealer in a very light shade, and what we're going to do is bring this in under our eyes, sort of like that. I don't want to use too much here, not really going for a Kardashian look, although if you want you could just kind of pack this on to really lighten up that area of the face. So I'm bringing a little down my nose, a little down my forehead, and a little there. I'm going to use my fingers to pat this in. If you want to be really gentle under the eyes as well, you can use your ring finger, as this is supposed to prevent wrinkles. Who can really know that though, right? Next I'm going to bronze up my skin, and I typically only ever wear this, guys. This is the Honey Bronzer from the Body Shop, and it's such a worthwhile investment, especially for pale girls. Their palest one is just unbelievable. So taking a little bit of this on a contour brush, I'm going to do fishy face. I'm going to carve out my cheeks. You always kind of start where this little baby hairs are on your head. It's usually a sign of where your cheekbone is. and then kind of bring it up this way. Never down lower than that, because it makes your face look a little bit droopy. Never ever come in further than where your pupil is either, because it tends to look very muddy, and I used to make that mistake a lot, even in YouTube videos. Shh. Then you can kind of drag the rest of that up around the forehead. Also just bringing a little bit of this down my nose to make it look more kind of sculpted. And I have one favorite blush shade that I always go back to, and several different brands do this. There's the Orgasm by NARS, which is quite expensive. Then there's the Sleek Rose Gold blush, but the one that I tend to go for is my Hot Mama by the Balm, and it's just one of my all-time favorites. You'll see why now. It has got a hint of shimmer in it, but it's just one of those kind of real universal colors that just is absolutely beautiful on the cheek. Not really for daytime wear though, just for going out, and oh, it's so gorgeous. I think adding that blush once you've contoured or bronzed up is just kind of like a real finishing touch. The real finishing touch though is the highlighter. I've gone on about this before in a favorites video, and I did a giveaway of the Balm products that I love. Totally not sponsored, I just love them. This is the Mary Luminizer highlight, and it is stunning. So using my finger, I'm actually going to pop some of this just along the top of my cheek. Don't bring this too high up, especially if you might have a hint of, you know, crow's feet or whatever, because it won't do its job right then. I know everyone says it, but this really is the best highlighter ever. And as you'll see, I'm going to be using this on my eyes as well, so it doubles up. I'm going to take a little bit of that down my nose, and now seeing as it's on my finger, I'm going to take it up under my eyebrows to kind of highlight them. I get asked a lot actually. I get my brows done in Benefit. I think I've shown that actually in a few videos before, like vlogs and things like that. But yeah, Benefit do a really good job of keeping my brows in check. I'm dreadful at doing it myself. I hate it. Okay, so I don't need to prime my eyes because I brought my Professional up onto my eyelids, which I always do. It just saves on products. I'll typically select a palette that includes a matty brown and a goldy shade. You can buy really cheap palettes, you can buy really expensive palettes. The Naked palettes, of course, are usually my go-tos in videos like this. You can also get these kind of chubby crayon things. This one's from NYX, and it's just a lovely gold, and just that all over the eyes, and then do your winged liner and your mascara is enough. But for today, I'm going to go for my favorite one from the last few months, which is the Nude Tude palette from the Balm, and it just has a gorgeous selection of colors. I love this one, Sultry, as a crease shade, and then Snobby on my eyelid. I just think that it looks phenomenal. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. It's not too overdone, and it's perfect for me when I'm wearing a red lip. It just balances it out nicely. I'm using my Real Technique brushes, by the way, for this eye look. And when you're kind of putting color into the crease, try and just keep your eyes the way they normally are. Don't like pull your eyes taut or do anything weird. Just go in along where like the hood is, because I think I have hooded eyes. Do this, and if you're using a good shadow, it will just go and stick to where it's supposed to stick to. And then what I'm gonna do is pack on my gold shade. I absolutely love this shade, Snobby. It's gorgeous. I'm going all over the lid with this. Then take a clean eyeshadow brush to just buff everything in and blend everything nicely together. I'm also going to take a little bit of the shade Silly, which is a kind of a dark brown with some kind of little glittery bits in there, and I'm going to run that along my lower lash. Totally feel free to skip this step if you want. If you're afraid of eyes that are too smoky, you can just do this part, which is just bring it up onto the outer third of the eye and kind of blend it into the rest. I love these two black eyeliners for doing cat eye. The Feline Flick by Charlotte Tilbury is so easy to use, and it's just a stunning. It's very dark. Also the Catrice one, which is super cheap. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury though, because parties are special and I like to use my fancy makeup for them. So I usually start in the middle of my eye and pat this down. It's really easy to use. And there you go. You can go as dramatic with your cat eye or as subtle with your cat eye as you wish. Everyone has their own favourite mascara. My two absolute favourites are the Benefit Their Real Mascara and the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes. For parties, you can of course go in with falsies, and you can curl your eyelashes if you like, but I just don't really need to most of the time. I take quite a lot of supplements and I eat a lot of healthy fats and proteins, so my eyelashes to be growing all over the place by themselves. Okay, finally I'm going to do my brows, and my go-to product is the Browzings from Benefit, and it's just comes with a powder and a gel. Follow your natural brow shape and just make them look nice and full and put together. With mine, I tend to start on the top, and this part here of mine is quite sparse, the part closer into my eye and stuff. I'm going to use a brow fiber gel after this. Gimme Brow is my fave, obviously. I reviewed that before, guys, if you haven't seen it. This just adds more dimension into your brows and it makes them look fuller and thicker. With both eyes now done, it's time to move on to the star of the show, which is the red lip. And I have a few lip products here. Parties and holiday season is typically when I whip out the red lip. I avoid it for most of the rest of the year, so although it's probably cliche, it's a classic, and it's a classic for a reason. Ruby Woo is my favorite MAC lipstick. It is a true red. It suits all skin tones, although it can be rather drying, so it takes a bit of practice to get used to. L'Oreal Paris also have some awesome reds out at the moment. This one is Blake's Pure Red. For today though, I'm going with my current favorite, which is the Rouge Velvet by Bourjois. This is the shade Grand Cru, and it is so good. It's kind of like a stain mixed with a lipstick. It's not a gloss. I don't really know what it is. It feels good though. Once your lips are prepped and have been moisturized, it's not going to be too drying. And then I'm also using a MAC lip liner. This is just their red lip liner. Lip liner is essential if you want your lippy to stay on. Fill in your whole lips with it, so let's go. And also on a shoot recently, a tip I got off the makeup artist there was to kind of smile when you're applying the lip liner, because it pulls your lips taut and it makes it easier to do so. Don't be afraid, as I have, to reshape your lips a little and draw a little outside your natural lip line. It's fun, it's makeup, it's for playing with. Right, so I'm going in with my Bourjois now, right from the little nib. I love this stuff. I've got every single one of these, and it's going to be in my favorites of the month. And we want to avoid teeth stainage, so we got to do the tip. That gets rid of anything that's going to end up on your teeth. So yeah, I'm now going to do something nice with my hair before I go out and party down. I really hope you guys like this tutorial, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in a comment down below what you'd like me to do as my next makeup look. Bye guys. Goodbye.